Welcome to Tennessee's at-home learning series for math. Today's lesson is for all of our first graders out there, but of course, anyone is more than welcome to tune in. This lesson is the 11th lesson in our series. My name is Miss Sarah, and I'm a first grade teacher at Baxter Primary School in the Putnam County School System. I'm so excited that I still get to be your teacher for math today. Welcome again to our virtual classroom. If you didn't have a chance to see our previous lessons, you can find it on the Tennessee Department of Education's website at www.tn.gov/education. You can still tune in to today's lesson if you haven't seen any of the previous lessons, but it might be a little bit more fun if you go back and watch those lessons first, because today we're going to be using something we learned all the way back in our very first lesson together. Today we will be learning about how to count using a 120 chart. Before we get started, to participate fully in today's lesson, you are going to need paper, pencil, in the student packet for Math Grade 1, Lesson 11, which you can find at www.tn.gov/education. To get ready for today's lesson, let's go ahead and get our workspace ready. I'm going to lay out some paper and a pencil on my writing surface, which is a table. You lay out your paper and your pencil as well. We will also be using a tool today called a 120 chart. Would you like to see what my 120 chart looks like? Let's review how to use a 120 chart together. Notice the number at the very top. You see the number 1? Now let's look at the number at the very bottom of our chart, the very last number. This is 120. Now you say 120. Great job! You notice the numbers get bigger as we count from 1 to 120. For our lesson today, let's use your paper and your pencil to draw part of our 120 chart for you to use throughout the lesson. I would like for you to draw 4 small charts with me, but be sure to save a little bit of space in between each of those charts. To begin, I will draw a rectangle like this. Now you draw a rectangle. Now I am going to draw 3 more rectangles. Remember to leave a little bit of space in between those rectangles. If you need to flip your paper over and draw some of them on the back, you're more than welcome to do that. While I draw mine, I want you to draw yours. A little bit of space. I'm going to have to flip mine over and draw my last rectangle on the back. Great job. You should have 4 rectangles drawn now. Let's go ahead and touch and count the rectangles we have to make sure that we have enough for today's lesson. 1, 2, 3, 4. Do you have 4 rectangles? Great job. Next, we are going to draw a line horizontally through the center of our rectangle. Now, all the way back in lesson 1, we said we were going to draw that line and cut it in half, kind of like a hot dog bun. So we're going to do that in all 4. If you don't remember what that looks like, watch me on the first one. One line straight across to cut it in half like a hot dog bun. Now you draw that line. Excellent job. I'm going to go ahead and draw a line through the middle horizontally, straight across, in the rest of my rectangles. You do the same too. Wow, yours look so great. Now we're going to draw 4 vertical lines in our first rectangle, like this. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now you draw your 4 vertical lines. Excellent job. Does this look familiar to you? Me too. It looks just like those 10 frames that we got really great at drawing in our earlier lessons. So now we're going to go into the rest of our rectangles and draw those 4 vertical lines. Remember, they don't have to be perfectly straight, and our boxes aren't probably going to be the exact same size, but that is okay. Let's do it. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wonderful work. Now we are ready to count using our 120 chart. Let's look back at my 120 chart. I want you to put your smaller charts to the side so we can come back to those in a few minutes. But we're going to look at my 120 chart again. Let's start counting using our 120 chart. We're going to begin counting at the number 15. So I'm going to find 15. And I would love for you to count with me as we count across the row. 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. What was the last number you said? Yes, you said the number 20. Hmm. Where do we go now that we're at the end of the row? Did you just say that we should go to the next row? If you did, excellent job. We will go to the next row of numbers, starting with number 21. Can you count with me again to the end of this row? 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. What was the last number you said? Yes, you said 30. Now, let's take a look at a problem. I'm going to need your help using the 120 chart to count. Will you help me? I knew you would. Sam picks the number 35. What are the next three numbers? What number should we begin counting with? Me too. I agree. We will start at 35. So I will need to write the number 35 in my first blank for this problem. Now I need to find the number 35 on my 120 chart. I remember we stopped at 30 last. So next, I will move down to the next row. And I'm going to move until I find 35. What should I do next? Right, I am ready to begin counting on now that I've found the number 35 on my 120 chart. Let's do that together. And we're trying to find what? The next three numbers. 35, 36, 37, 38. Great. So our next three numbers are 36, 37, 38. You did an excellent job. I want you to pat yourself on the back. And if this is your first time joining us, when we pat ourselves on the back, we're going to say, because I'm so smart. Let's do it. Pat yourself on the back. Why? Because I'm so smart. And you really are. Now, let's go ahead and look at our first problem. You're going to want to pull out those small charts that we created together earlier. We're going to find the next four numbers. I want you to use your first chart that you drew to work along with me for this problem. I'm going to use my chart too. I want you to go ahead and write the number 4 in your very first box, and then the number 14. Does yours look like mine? Let me see. Excellent job. Great. Now I count on a 120 chart to find the next 4 numbers. So I'm going to find the number 4 and find the next 4 numbers. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. What should I do now? Right. I need to write those 4 numbers in the first row of my chart that I created. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Now you write the numbers that come after 4. Great job. I filled in the top part of my chart. Let's go ahead and fill in the bottom chart together. Our problem starts with the number 14. So let's find the number 14 on the 120 chart. Let's use the 120 chart to find the next 4 numbers. 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So, what were the next 4 numbers after the number 14? 15, 16, 17, and 18. So I'm going to write those numbers and finish off our smaller chart. 15, 16, 17, 18. Did you finish filling in your chart? Excellent job. You are amazing. You just used the 120 chart to count and write numbers. Excellent job. I want you to stand up and I want you to jump up and down 8 times. We've been working at using the 120 chart to identify and count numbers. Now, it's your turn. In your next chart that you created, I want you to write these 2 numbers. 42 and 52. You will write the number 42 at the top of your chart and then write the number 52 under the number 42. Your job is to fill in the chart with the next 4 numbers that come after 42 and after 52. I'm going to stop and pause for a second to let you do that on your own. I'm going to show you my 120 chart so that you can use it to help you solve that problem. All right. I'm going to share my completed chart with you. While I do mine, I want you to check to make sure that yours matches mine. If you need to change something, go ahead and change it. Remember, mistakes are proof that we are learning. So my first step is to find the number 42 on my 120 chart. And then I'm going to count on to find the next four numbers: 42, 43, 44, 45, and 46. 42, 43, 44, 45, and 46. Next, I'm going to find the number 52, which is right below the number 42 on our 120 chart. And I'm going to find the next four numbers: 53, 54, 55, 56. I'm going to add those numbers into my chart as well. Does your chart match my chart now? Excellent job. Great work. Today we reviewed how to count using a 120 chart. I hope you're starting to see some connections to our counting on strategy that we used in some of our last lessons. You sure did an amazing job. After the video, you will have some problems to work on independently or by yourself. I'm going to show you those independent practice problems now, or you can find them in the student practice for this lesson posted on our website, www.tn.gov/education. Remember, do your best. I know that you're going to do a great job on this. So to get you started, I'm going to read the problems out loud. It says to use a 120 chart to count and find the next four numbers. Find the next four numbers. If you don't have a way to print this at home and you still want to complete it, you know how to draw those smaller charts. So you can do that. We also had a couple of more charts that you could use that we didn't use in today's lesson to help you solve some of these. And you can add on more to that paper too. All right. In number one, you're going to find the next four numbers after 61 and 71. For number two, you're finding the next four numbers after 86 and 96. For number three, you're finding the next four numbers after 104 and 114. And then we have a little challenge, and I know that you're going to be up for the challenge. They want you to find the next four numbers. So you're going to fill in the missing numbers. You're even going to have to find out what this first number is in your second row. I just know that you are going to rock this out. I'm so proud of you, and I can't wait to see all the great work you're going to do. I enjoyed reviewing how to count using a 120 chart. Thank you again for inviting me into your home for today's lesson. I look forward to seeing you in our next lesson in Tennessee's At Home Learning series. Bye, everyone.
before you take a drink, do you think we can make this water rise to the top without putting any more water in there?
Yes.
How?
If we put some ice into here.
How many do you predict can fit in there before it goes all the way to the top?
I think 7.
7? Can you count them with me? Let's count.
1,
1, 2, 3,
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
do one more. Daddy dropped it.
11.
You predicted it would take 7 ice cubes, and it took 11 ice cubes. So, did it take more or fewer ice cubes?
I think more.
You think more? You're right, it did take more. Now, you can take a drink.